Hey everyone, welcome to Butt First Yoga. Today we're going to be doing a 15-minute flow, and I like to call this one Happy Hips. So if you feel especially tight in your hips, in your hamstrings, maybe through your glutes, you're going to especially appreciate this flow. Now remember, yoga is not about being perfect, it's about just showing up on your mat. So if I say something that you don't feel is accessible today, feel free to just modify however you need to, or take a break and catch up when something comes up that you feel ready to do. You might notice that your hamstrings are especially tight in this, and so what I want you to focus on today is your breath. Breathing through those poses that might be a little difficult, but never painful. As soon as yoga becomes painful, we're not honoring our body. So let's get to work working on our breath and opening up through our hips. So we're going to start down in child's pose. Now, the further apart your knees are, the more of a hip opener this is going to be off the bat. So bring your knees apart as far as you feel comfortable. Big toes to touch. Hands reach forward towards the top of your mat or your towel. Forehead can rest down on your mat. Hips glide back towards your heels. Spread the 10 fingers apart. Think about pressing your armpits down towards the mat or the towel, starting to open up through the chest. Take a deep inhale. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it out. One more time. Inhale, no matter where you're coming from today. And exhale, let your day go. Let your to-do list go. This 15 minutes is entirely yours to focus on yourself. Now you can continue breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, or you can cultivate that victorious yogi breath, the Ujjayi breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Almost like creating the sound of the ocean in the back of your throat. Take a few more breaths just as you are, allowing your hips to subtly open, allowing your mind to calm down. On your next inhale, rise up to all fours. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. The toes will stay untucked, so the tops of the feet are pressing into the mat. Right away, spread all 10 fingers apart. Press through the upper back, and then spiral the triceps in as if you were trying to hold a credit card or your checkbook underneath your armpits. Lengthen through the crown of the head, draw the belly button up and in. Inhale, cow pose, lower the belly, lift the chin, lift the tailbone. Exhale, cat pose, round and curl the spine. Inhale, cow, lower the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, cat, press through the mat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Come back to a neutral spine as you inhale. And take the right leg out towards the side. So we'll bring the heel straight out from the knee. All 5 toes will still face forward, and we keep that long neutral spine. Already you might feel a stretch through the inner thigh, starting to open up there. Inhale, cow, lower the belly, lift the chin. Notice the range of motion might be a little different here. Exhale, cat, round and curl the spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale back to a neutral spine. You can stay right here, or maybe you find some movement side to side or front and back. Starting to feel what might be really tight in that right side. Continue to press the outside of the foot, the pinky edge of the foot, into the floor, stretching through the inside of the thigh, through the outside of the calf. On your next inhale, come back to a neutral spine and bring the knee back underneath the hip. Finding the other side. Take the right foot out towards the left foot out towards the side. All 5 toes face forward, the heel in line with the knee. Maybe you find it's more comfortable to bring it a little forward or a little back though. Find where the stretch is best for you. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Just like we did with both knees on the ground, but notice that opening now in the inner thigh. Find length, find your breath. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Back to a neutral spine on your inhale. Again, you can stay right here if this feels good in your body, or maybe you find those movements front and back, or you twist a little side to side, circling around the hips, just starting to wake them up, finding any sticky spots. Your breath will help you to work through those. Continue with your breath, your movement. And then on your next inhale, we'll all come back, finding all fours, bringing the knee back underneath the hip. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips high and back, press through the palms. So you're making an upside down V here. The ears are between the biceps. The fingertips are still spread apart, pressing especially through the index finger and the thumb. Heels are melting towards the mat, but they don't have to touch. In fact, I want you to find a nice generous bend in the knees. That's going to help to open up through your back and start to warm up the hamstrings without being too aggressive. You could find movement side to side here, again, keeping with the breath. 1 inhale and 1 exhale. Notice any sticky spots. And on your next exhale, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Lift the tailbone up a little higher. Find space as you press the belly button towards your thighs. Inhale, right leg up towards the ceiling. All 5 toes face down towards the ground. So we're not opening the hip here. It's not about height. It's really about that length from the crown of the head down to the heel. 1 more big breath in. Exhale, draw the knee towards the nose, plant the foot between the hands for a low lunge. Maybe you have to scoot the foot forward a little bit. You should be able to see your toes. The knee is stacked over the ankle. Lower the back knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach up. Relax the shoulders as you melt the hips forward. Pull the right hip back slightly to keep it in line with the left. Notice if your shoulders are lifting up towards your ears, can you melt them down your back here? We spiral the hands so the palms face each other, the pinkies are forward. 1 more deep breath in, draw the belly button towards the spine. Exhale, half split. Sit back in the hips, lift the front toes. Maybe you find you need to scoot that foot forward just a little bit to not feel so crunched up. The back hips stay off of the heel as we find length through the front hamstring. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale to fold over. Maybe the hands walk forward, maybe they stay underneath the shoulders. There's so many options here. It's not about getting your face to touch your shins by any means. It's really about pulling your belly button down towards your thighs, feeling that openness. 1 more breath in. Hold through your exhale. Inhale, low lunge, walk the hands forward, plant the foot, tuck the back toes, lift the knee. Exhale, downward facing dog. Moving to our other side, inhale, left leg up towards the sky. Same thing, maybe it's going up a little higher, maybe it's lower. Either way, we keep the hips as level as we can and all 5 toes down towards the ground. 1 more breath in. Exhale, low lunge. Draw the knee towards the chest. Plant the foot between the hands. Walk the foot forward if you need to, making sure that the knee is on top of the heel. Lower the back knee and untuck the toes. Inhale, crescent. Root down, rise up. Relax the shoulders down. Now, this is not about dumping into the hips, but we do bring the hips forward slightly to find space in the right hip flexor. But continue to draw the left hip back slightly, keep it in line with the right hip. The core stays engaged, draw the belly button in. The pelvic floor is really active here. Shoulders melt down the back as the pinkies spiral forward. One more breath in. Exhale, half split. Sit back in the hips, lift the front toes. We hinge forward, finding the stretch to the hamstrings. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Now, I don't have blocks with me today, but half split is a really good opportunity to have blocks so you could bring the floor up a little bit higher and keep the spine really long rather than hunching over. Hips draw back in line. One more breath in. Hold through your exhale. Walk the hands forward. Inhale to low lunge. Back knee lifts. Tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in downward dog. We're going to progress what we just did as the hips are now starting to warm up little by little. Inhale, right leg up towards the sky. All 5 toes down towards the ground. Exhale, low lunge. Plant the foot between the hands. Keep the back knee lifted this time. Back heel is lifted high. Inhale, high lunge. Front knee stays stacked over the ankle, and the shoulders continue to melt down the back. So just what we did before, only now we're lifted up. Back heel is lifted, so the heel is over the ball of the foot. Belly button draws in. Pull the left hip forward in line with the right. One breath in. Exhale, modified pyramid. Back heel stays lifted. We hinge forward. Draw the right hip back, left hip forward, folding over that front leg, kind of like our modified half split. Again, if you had blocks, this would be a beautiful place to use them. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, inhale, left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, low lunge. Keep the back knee lifted, back heel lifted. Inhale, high lunge. Draw the right hip forward in line with the left. Belly button to spine, knee over ankle. Come back to your breath. Notice how each side might show up a little differently, and that's totally fine. We're not symmetrical creatures by any means. On your next exhale, modified pyramid. Lengthen through the front leg. Hips stay in line as we pull the left hip back and the right hip forward. Now the front knee can stay soft. We don't want it locked out here. And maybe if a bend feels a lot better, you can always go for that. This is yoga. This is what you need. Not what I need, not what I tell you necessarily, but really finding what works for you. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale, right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, low lunge. Little change this time. Spin the back foot open so it plants flat on the mat. Inhale, warrior two pose. Your first warrior two here. The front heel is in line with the back arch, and the back toes are either facing perpendicular or slightly forward. Shoulders melt down the back. Front heel is pressing towards the pinky toes. So we want to avoid letting that knee fall in. Reach long in your arms. This is a big hip opener. Deep breath in. Exhale, side angle. Bring the elbow on top of the thigh. Reach the back arm up and over. If that's uncomfy in your shoulder at all, feel free to reach straight up instead. Remember, this is not supposed to be painful. It's not always the most comfortable, but there's a difference between pain and comfort, or pain and discomfort. Okay. Roll the top rib back, bottom rib under. Continue to open up through the chest. Inhale, reverse triangle. We extend through the front leg, reach up. Find length here. Again, avoid locking out the knees. The bottom feet stay the same. One more breath in. As you exhale, we move in a triangle. Tick-tock the hands, reach forward as far as you can, and then tick-tock all the way to 12 and 6 o'clock. Now maybe the bottom hand rests on your shin or up a little bit higher. It doesn't matter where it is as long as it feels comfortable for you, so that you can continue to open the top rib back and reach the top arm forward. So we're all built a little differently. Maybe you're coming down to the ground, but we want to keep that openness here. Think about leaning back slightly. One more breath in. Hold through your exhale. Inhale, low lunge, spin the back foot up now. Step back, downward dog on your exhale. And we'll do that on the other side. Inhale, left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, low lunge, plant the foot down. When you're ready, spin the back foot down. Inhale, warrior two. Relax the shoulders down, the front knee still going towards the pinky toes. Relax the shoulders as you reach the hands. Now from here, the shoulders are stacked on top of the hips. So if you find yourself leaning forward or leaning back, try to bring it to that nice squared off position. One more breath in. Exhale, side angle, come forward, elbow to thigh, reach up and over, or just straight up. One more breath in. Hold through your exhale, find expansion. Inhale, reverse triangle. Bring the back hand down the back leg, extend the front leg, and then reach the front arm up. Preparing for triangle pose, bring the hands forward, reach the front arm forward as far as you can, and then tick-tock the arms to 12 and 6 o'clock. So again, maybe you're up a little higher here, maybe you're down a little lower. What we're feeling though is that openness in the hamstrings and the hips, shoulders stacked on top of each other as we open up through that entire side body. Remember, yoga is not about looking like a certain person or like a certain pose. It's going to look a little different in everyone's body. One more deep breath in. Hold through your exhale. Inhale, low lunge, bend the front knee, cartwheel the hands down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, child's pose. Knees apart, hips back, big toes to touch. Now you can stay here as long as you would like. Take a few breaths. Use your breath to reconnect. If you notice your mind wandering, that's okay. Try to bring it back to focus on yourself. Yoga and mindfulness is not about not thinking about anything else. It's about recognizing that our thoughts do wander because we're human and being able to pull them back. One more deep breath in. Exhale, sigh something out. Come on up to a kneeling position. If cross-legged is better for you, feel free to take that instead. When you're ready, big inhale. Hands meet in the middle. Palms come to heart center. Exhale. Namaste. Thanks for joining me, yogis. I hope that your hips are feeling happy and that you have a great rest of your day, week, wherever you're at. I'll see you next time.